ourselves. We bury the truths of the things that we're going through. And as we are talking about these viewers, we are talking out and bringing it out also in the perspective of being a believer in Christ. Because that's the essence, that's the bottom line. Because we can go through all these issues, and unless we know the manufacturer, we go back and talk to the manufacturer of what is it that you created me to be. Welcome to this podcast, wherever you're watching or listening to us. My name is Pastor Ben, and this is a continuation of what we did last week with our guest. Our guest is Ken Gakuru, and we've had a wonderful time discussing about mental health issues. And today is a continuation, episode 2 of the same. And I want to believe that you are being enlightened and you are being motivated, and more so to know that God has a good plan for your life. So wherever you're watching or listening to us, God bless you, and you're most welcome. Kindly share this podcast and this video with your people, your networks. If it's your first time to be on this channel, kindly consider to subscribe, give us some comments, and like the page, like the channel, and we will be able to acknowledge that. So we delve into the topic of the day today as we continue to talk about mental health, and in particular today with my guests we want to talk about this as a way of encouraging especially the male child, the boy child, because when we were growing up, and most of you will attest, we were told that you are a man, so being a man, even if you fell down, you were told, don't cry. Maybe our guest here, Brother Ken, you could attest to that. We were told that as a man, you're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to shed tears. You're not supposed to show weakness, but emotions. But now, the life that we are living in, we are seeing a decline on masculinity, the male child going down through mental health issues, suicidal, and and now the worst part of male suicidal is that they don't want to die alone. They have to kill somebody, and then from there now comes back to themselves. Now, talk to us about this as a person who has gone through some of these disturbances, and more so where loss is concerned.
Wow, that's a heavy topic, but it concerns all of us because a man is considered the head of
The family.
And if the man is sick, the family is sick.
Absolutely.
And that's why we need to talk more, because men don't talk in the first. They talk about football. They talk about everything under the sun apart from themselves. And that's where we go wrong, because I will talk to you, my fellow man, but I'm carrying something heavy, and you're carrying something heavy. And yet we lie to ourselves. And we can see our societal is full of narcissism. And there are no boundaries, and there are no values, but they are there.
Absolutely.
And that's why we are having what we have now, because we have so much negative stories. Why can't we have positive stories about men? So that our young men may see there is a man I would like to be. Not what we are currently seeing. It's a man external self, and that's what we worship. The role they play, the society, the car they drive, because us men and cars, or just they are big men but with very small hearts.
Absolutely.
And our children's generation is different from ours. They have access to so much information, but the problem is they do not know what to do with that information. They think they know, yet we have the experience to prove that they do not. Because even us, we're in that journey. Let's not be ashamed to show our children that we are also in the journey, that we are not perfect, that we were not all number ones when we were young, because then who was number two? Let's just be human, because we seem to have lost that humanity. And our kids like I said, when I lost my memory, it's what I saw, what I heard, what I felt, what I tasted. Those five senses, children are very bright. They see and they mimic what they see. So we can't say they are doing this, they are mimicking what we are doing.
Yeah.
You can't preach water, drink wine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They are who we are. We need to accept that fact.
Yeah.
It's a bitter pill because they are a reflection of us.
Yes.
And you see, in this mental wellness, we are afraid to look at our own selves, yet they remind us. And they remind us of who we were. But at the same time, they are reminding us who we are currently, and we are not happy with our present selves. So we take it out on them. Instead of seeing them and they motivate us, because we can see the joy. Children are not bitter, children are just happy.
Absolutely.
And they don't discriminate. They play. And I sought the child in me. That's why I speak to the child in me about the things I used to love. I used to love to run. I'm back to running and playing the game I loved when I was in my teenage, 20s. And they give me joy. Find that thing which gives you joy. And your child or the children surrounding you will see it, and they will be drawn to you. And they will be drawn to what you do. If you come to where we practice, we have like 20 kids, they come and just mimic what we do. Yeah. Because they see the happiness we are getting from it. Yeah. And they get the happiness they already have, and ours. And until the sun sets, they don't want to go home. There's a beauty in energy, positive energy, because we don't exist in a vacuum. Yeah, the things you love will give out that positive energy. Find it. It's in you.
Absolutely. Find it because it's in you. God has created you special, even as we've talked about this. And every one of us is very unique. And in particular, we want to talk about the young men because, Ken, you attest to this, that they are a generation that is not finding their footage.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you wonder whether do they want to be girls or do they want to be boys? You know, there's that confusion, and within that, somebody is trying to find their self-worth. Somebody is trying to find who they are, and in that kind of mixed up, then that's where some of what we are talking about, depression, comes in. Because I want to look like the young man of that rich family, and to have, to drive a big car, and to have those iPhones and stuff like that. And because of my status that I have, I'm not able to acquire that. And now, because I want to look like I'm part of the society that is making it, that's where young people are getting into drugs. They're getting into, these money laundering and stuff like that. And they find themselves in crime. Talk to us about self-worth. Do I have to have a big car to become who I am? Do I have to have these external things, these nice shoes and nice dresses and all this, so that I can become who I am? Is that really what matters? Because those are the things that are pushing us into depression.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, literally. Because, like I've said, societal, they see what we do. And what do people, our generation do? They go for the latest cars and all those external things. And for the ones I play with, the phone is the most important thing they have. I've had my phone for 10 years. As long as it works, I'm okay.
Okay.
But this young man comes and tells me, can you load me 200 shillings? I got a loan for this phone and it's 40,000. I'm like, huh? What? It's what? And you didn't even afford it. So you sought a loan that you cannot even pay. So that guys know you have a certain phone. And mine is okay and it works and it's old. And yet you're coming to me, who makes money from this phone of mine to pay for yours, which it's for flossing. This is called flossing. Now, you see, that's the kind of state we are in. And I'm telling him, hey, my bro, why are you doing this? But you see, it's for them mbogi. They call it mbogi. For his mbogi, he has to look he has the latest and all. But you see, it's what they see, it's not what they know. That even as we are still learning, nothing external will fulfill our internal. You see, I keep going back to that. Introspection makes you aware of who you are and why you're on this earth. And we were all born for something. We don't just exist. And it's not these things that we have that give us that satisfaction. What is your ID? What is your identity? And that's why I say, if I knew before, I would have written so many books. This is my first, but it will give birth to many. But you see, we were also in that journey. We were told, you read hard, get an 8 to 5, get married. There's a, but you see, life has come with its own things. And whatever life has handed to you, it's not as if God is shocked. He knew. And if he knows, work with what is there to get to what you want to have. That vision that still God gave you. We've not given ourselves anything. No. We're just giving out what we were given by God for free.
Absolutely.
And that's what we need to teach our young men. Because even these young men, they're suffering the same things. And there's a song which was sung when we were young. Pesa, pombe, siasa na wanawake. They will make a man get messed up. And it is still the same thing. And it is those 4 things. And even more addictions for them. And they are lost. But they can also be found. Speak to them, speak to their lives and hear them. We can hear them in the songs, the things they value. Those things are so fleeting. We can see in the matatu culture. We are back to the 90s. And when we were young in the 90s, and whatever they are glorifying, we saw it in the 90s. So there's nothing new under the sun. And the Bible has said so. There's nothing big. And you see, the problem is the brain, once you show it something, it hatens it. But there is nothing new, there is nothing big. Just know who you are and work on who you are. Invest all that you have in who you are. I invest the same in me. I am passionate about mental health. When I wake up, those are the things on my platform. Those are the things I work towards. I love rugby. Those are the things I do. I love empowering myself so that I can empower somebody. Those are the things I read.
Absolutely. Sure.
And in our days, it was the books, it was a library. Now you have YouTube. Whatever you love, go find it. It's there. It's on the phone. There's easy access to information, but yet we are more ignorant than before. That's the saddest part. That's why we don't know ourselves. And we have access to get to know that which we don't know. But the beauty of it is we will never know everything. Every day is a new day. You start again and you learn and you grow. And these days, 8 to 5 is not the
boundary
that we had. They can do anything that they set their minds to. And that's the beauty of where we are.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of where we are. And especially as we are talking about the male child, Brother Ken, talk to us about the expectation of the girl child. Because we are having an imbalance in expectation, because there is a lot of empowerment where the young girl is concerned, or the women, the female gender versus the male gender. As a man, as we were told, when you have challenges, don't show up, because don't show emotions, because you have to be strong. But we are looking at a society that is empowering the women, the young girl more than the male child. And as a matter of statistics, you find that the male child is drifting away, to drugs and to stuff like that. And actually, as a matter of fact, even as we are talking about it, the percentage of men who are getting into meaningful relationships are increased. Meaningful relationship meaning talking about marriage, family life. Where do you see us going with this kind of mentality? Because we are having a man who is destabilized in their mental. And as a result of that, we are looking at a male child who is not performing as per what they are expected to do. In 20 years to come, how is that family tree going to be? Whereby we have this woman who is so much empowered, and they are expecting at the same time that the male child is going to perform to become, a figure in the family tree. But we are seeing the decline because of mental issues and stuff like that. And as a man, as a child male, sometimes when we look at things and we are not able to conquer them, we kind of try to decline and just let it be. But the women, they are there just conquering it and moving together with it. What would you tell that young man who is watching at us?
I would tell a young man to be himself, to be who he was created to be.
Yes.
Because we are not in a competition. Life is not a competition. The only competition is between you and your own self. Your yesterday and your today.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I keep on referring to our environment because we live in our own environment. But I speak to my fellow men in your circle of influence. Can you be positive about who a man is and what a man should look like?
Yeah.
Because we are surrounded by narcissists.
Yes.
Narcissism, it's all about me. And and you see, that's why we've gone back to our physicalness. I am more strong than her, so I will beat her up, or I will talk down to her, or I will use money to get what I want from her. That's weakness. It shows our weakness as men, yet we don't want to be weak. You see, we are running to the things which we think will not make us weak, but they expose our weakness.
Oh yeah.
It's a paradox. Because it all comes from within.
Yeah.
I go to the gym and we talk with the partner, the owner of the gym, and we talk about these things. Guys are buffed and all that, but they're small boys on the inside. You think by working out and being that big, the person internally will be big. But unless you deal with his muscle, that's what I tell him. He needs my brain muscle together with the physical.
Yes.
There will be a disconnect. Yeah, whatever you run away to, because people run away to the gym for that 1 hour. Yeah. But when you get out, you're still the same person who came in, but physically you look different. Yes, it gives you some sort of relief, but it is temporary. Look for that permanent relief. Like we said, the brain has those chemicals, that dopamine and the other four. Find them, and you find them in nature. You find them in your relationships. You find them in the sun. They are free. Look for them and be there, because nature has a way of telling you you're a small part of God's, but He chose you and He speaks to you, so you're not as small, yet you are. He chose you.
Wow.
And He made the sun. He made all these things, and He made you. Why should you feel inferior? But you see, that's why every day I look for things which speak to me. Because it's a muscle, I need to work it out. Because my brain will do something. It will show me the negativity, what I don't have. That I need a bigger car than, but there'll always be a better car than. There'll always be a better wife.
That's it.
And I'll have my wife. Because she's made me into the man I am. She found what was there and lay a platform. Because they are meant to be multipliers. For us, we create, they multiply for us.
Absolutely.
But you see, in our society, they are meant to just exist there.
Not say anything.
But I thank her for that, because she saw something in me that I had not even seen in myself. And that's because she was walking in her own journey.
Absolutely.
And our journeys met and we walked together. Not separate journeys, but in the same direction. You have your money, I have my money, let's see. Because we fight because of very societal things. And we can talk about it. You see, it's all about communication. Yet we are very poor at it. Just talk. Okay, this is how I am, this is how I feel, this is where I stand. So that the other person will get you. Absolutely. They were raised differently. They know things differently. So don't assume that they know. If you don't even know your own self, how does she know about you?
That's true.
That's what I remind myself on a daily basis, and I'm like, hey, you have that personal interview with your own self. You're like, hey, Papa, I messed up. I need to step up. You see, that ability for a man to acknowledge his weaknesses, to do that SWOT analysis, his strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and be vulnerable.
Oh yeah. Oh,
we are not free to that vulnerability.
We need that, and on top of that, as we talk about being vulnerable, means that you need the help of the other person.
Yes.
And I want us to talk about that, Ken, because yesterday I was having a program, and I said that every man needs a man. You need somebody who's going to help you to hold your hand.
Yeah.
I don't know the person that holds your hand as a person. And in this case, we are not talking about gender, but we are talking about it as a human being. Because you will need somebody who can see far than you can see, and be able to show you the way to that place. And let's talk about this, the place of mentorship, the place of somebody who can hold your hand, can believe in you and hold you and take you out of this. Because the reason why we hear people committed suicide, people killed their family. You can see a man taking a panga, slitting the throats of 12 years, 3 years, and committing and burning themselves and the wife and all this. This is a result of somebody who has, you close themselves up with everything. They don't want to let it out and share with somebody. Talk to us about that aspect of having somebody. Did you have somebody that you walked with in your situation, whereby you found yourself, you are here and you are beginning again and coming out of that point of depression into a point of realizing who you are and the potential that is within you? Did you need that kind of a help of somebody who can walk out with you, and one who can believe that yes, you are beginning again, but I see something better because I knew you, and I know that you still have the potential to become?
Yes, I did. And yes, we all do need, like I've said, that circle of influence that you're at.
Yes.
They know you. Even when you forget yourself, they know you.
Yeah.
My wife knew me. And my friends, my close friends knew me. So that even when 10 years ago, when I got out of hospital, a pal of mine came for me and took me for rugby. And my dad was like, why are you taking this? Can't you see he's sick?
He's still sick.
My friend was like, this is my friend.
Yeah.
And we will take him. And we will bring him back.
Yeah.
But first we have to take him. So that question has brought that memory, because I remember, just like when you get new spectacles, you can't see the earth.
Yeah.
And the new spectacle, there is that distance.
Yeah.
So I kept on trying to walk and losing my foot.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't really see the distance accurately, because the brain was learning how to walk.
Yeah.
You see, that's how a child learns how to walk.
Absolutely.
They fall, then they wake up, then they're like, okay, I fell here. So I now know how this looks like. So I remember that memory because he was holding my hand. And that is a friend and a half. And we met last Friday and we talked about this life.
Wow.
And we looked back at our hindsight, our past.
Yeah.
And we were like, God has been good to us.
Yeah.
And you know, when we were having that conversation at Langata Cemetery.
Wow.
I told him, come see where my dad is. Come here, and I talk to him at times and I cry. And I just tell him, thank you for making me who I am now, even when you're not in existence. And he told me, come, I show you where my firstborn is. So he took me to where his firstborn was. His firstborn was 23 days old.
Oh.
And she died. And I look at my dad, he was 63 years. Her, she was days.
Yeah.
And you look at the whole of Langata and you're like, their stories.
Yeah.
And I thanked God for my father. At least he got to live his life. That small child didn't even know she existed. And I love that friend of mine because we have been through the depths of life. And we know how life looks like. And we appreciate how life is. And that's how young men should. We should tell them these stories. Because life is fleeting. Life is life. So let's live this life.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful life. Let's hold on to our God and let's hold on to one another, because this life is beautiful.
This life is beautiful, and that's why our guest today has written a book, The Present, Hindsight. It's talking about destigmatizing mental health issues and informing my generation, the one ahead and behind us, because it's very important for us to have this information. And this is a book that anyone that needs to overcome mental issues ought to have. And it's a good read, and I believe that there are insights that are in this book that will help you. If you are there and you're working or being in a position whereby you feel that there are things that you know are stressing you, things that are putting you down, things that are taking your identity, because mental issue, I believe, will take away your identity, that you're not really who you were supposed to be, the full capacity of the person that God created you to be. I think our guest has insights out of experience, I believe, Brother Ken, out of experience that he has spent on this book. And you know, I'm an author, and when I was writing my book, one of the principles that I was told is that you cannot be a master in your area until you pen down something that somebody will read and run with it. And I think this is very important for us to understand. And here is a book that has nuggets that will help you. So please, I'm going to leave the link and the numbers of our guests on this video, so that you can get a book, get an ebook, get a soft copy, a hard copy, read, help somebody so that they can be able to overcome this thing that we are talking about today. So as we come to winding up our program today, Ken, what is your parting shot? As a mental health expert, I would call you, and you told me that you are not a mental health expert. But as we're talking about this, what makes you an expert is because you've gone through it and you've overcome it. In a nutshell, as a parting shot, what is it that you're going to sum up this whole discussion that we've been talking about?
All I can say is remember two things. There is hope, and we are here by grace.
Yeah.
Hope, grace. Those two are enough to drive you, because God sustains you.
Yeah.
And He gives you hope for today and tomorrow. That wipes out everything else. We all go through downs and we have ups, but let's have that balance in life.
Yeah.
Don't be so excited when you're happy, and don't be so sad when you're sad. Just be at that peace which surpasses all understanding. And it doesn't come from us, it comes from God.
It comes from God.
That's why it surpasses. Why? Why are you not mad when something happens? Because you know God is there with you. He was the only one with me. That even my wife didn't understand what was happening. My family did. And in that journey, you lose everything.
Oh my!
I lost friends. I lost family. I lost everything. And then when death comes, you lose everything twice.
Oh my!
So I had depression twice, one on top of the other.
Yeah.
But who is God?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is God?
Yeah.
I got people who understood my journey, and the ones who God wanted into my life. And that's where we are walking, and how we are walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. God isolates them on your behalf.
Absolutely.
And he sieves it. And I have seen Him. And I am seeing Him. And we are okay. We are okay.
We thank God.
Yeah. We stand on His word.
We thank God.
Because it never changes. It never changes. The fashion comes and goes.
Ken, God bless you.
Thank you.
You are an inspiration. I know that you've spoken to so many, and if you're there and you want these stories, kindly get in touch with us. And in case you have your own story that outside there and you want also to come and tell us about your story, we are here. This is a platform that we can give you because, as I said last week, that we need to tell our own stories, because we are not going to wait for other people to tell our stories. Today we are hearing the story of Ken, how he overcame, mental health issues because of the blood clot that, happened to him. And you could be there, you're having a story of how you overcame. Or maybe even your story is being made right now, even as we are talking. You need to know one thing, even as our guest has said, there is hope. There is hope. And that hope is only found in God. So get in touch with us and let us know how this program has been a blessing to you. And as I said, we have this beautiful book here. I'm going to link you up with the author, and then you can get a copy, and I know that God is going to bless you so much. Thank you so much. We want to say the Lord bless you, Kwaeri. God bless you. This program is being aired, or rather recorded, on a studio that you can also, get in touch with if you are there outside doing music, or maybe you want to learn how to do your music. Banga Studios is the place to be. I'm going to leave the credentials there, the links there. You can get in touch with the producer, and you can come over here. There is everything. You want to do your videos, you want to do your Photoshop, or rather photo shooting, you want to do your music, audio. If this is a place that you need to come, and I do believe that you will get your music sorted, because your story needs to be told. God bless you. My name is Pastor Ben, and we look forward to see you again, even as we continue inspiring the society through Jesus Christ. Shalom, and bye for now.